Welcome back. So, last episode, we did a little tour of the cellar expansion. I also believe we killed a bear, harvested some berries, and started the winemaking process. I think I even mounted the horns after going hunting, but I'm not sure if I recorded that or not. Our pigs have been pregnant for quite a while now. And it's time, I think, to start thinking about where we are going to put their offspring. Because I don't think it makes any sense to keep them in that pen down there, especially not for the winter. So I think today we're going to gather some materials and build a barn. What I'm going to build this barn out of, I'm not entirely sure just yet. Maybe we can take stock of some materials for the wall. I don't know if it's going to be wood, necessarily. I mean, I would like it to be, but... we do have a lot of pine. Maybe we use some pine, do a timber frame kind of thing. That could be cool. I think we also have to decide whether or not we are going to put the barn up here on this plateau, or if we expand down this way. There doesn't seem to be that much room down here. I know I built this big path going all the way down, but I do think we're going to end up expanding out in this general direction. You know, we have our inner sanctum. It's kind of safe. There's a few dark spots that bad guys can spawn in, but I think we'd be best served to expand outwards. And given that our gate is over here, I think that's where we're going to start. We have tons of light mud bricks, a slew of dirt, a bunch of raw daub. I might still go with the orange theme that we've been running with. Actually, now that I think about it, that doesn't sound like too bad of a plan. We'll see how far this gets us, and we'll go from there. Now, as far as roof blocks, I mean, it wouldn't be much of a barn without a thatch roof. I think thatch roofs look pretty nice when it's not on my own house. Yeah, wood at a minimum for my Iron Age domicile. So I think we'll have a little pie and get after it in the morning. Just kind of take a gander. You can see I have a lot of saplings planted. I don't know if they will mature before winter really hits. But hope springs eternal. I think I've got plenty of vegetables for the winter. And I believe either after the barn build or next episode, I'm going to spend some time hunting. And by some time, I mean I will probably hunt until I see snowfall. Because I do want meat for storage purposes. Oh wow, it's 32 degrees outside. 0 Celsius. These guys have not spread yet. I'm a little worried that that is all of the candles we will get before the winter, which is going to seriously impede my goals, which was to spend the winter building. And to make buildings, you need lanterns. Let me see if I have any more wax tucked away. I do have enough for one more lantern. So actually, while we wait, we might go ahead and make one. I know we have copper plates laying around. We do indeed. As well as 2 clear quartz. As I was saying, you need to maintain light levels when there is a roof over an animal's head. Otherwise, there's a risk it will despawn. I'm pretty sure that's just to keep animals from running into caves and accumulating and lagging out the game. But I don't know what the game considers a cave. Like, does it consider this a cave? Not sure. So we're going to play it safe and make another lantern for the barn. But it is getting lighter out. As we can see, winter is creeping in. Yeah, we're going to have to do some hunting as soon as this barn is built. Alright. Let's go pick a spot. For a little while, the pigs are still going to be scared of us. So actually, let me grab my shears for all these leaves. Oh. Are these pelts yet? 77% cured. I do want to make a fur coat, which is why I'm curing these. I think I only need 2 for a fur coat. I could be wrong. Up here, this is, yeah, same. Didn't collect that too far long ago. Maybe that's not what I wanted. I'm thinking maybe 8 wide on the inside. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7. Or maybe we do 6 wide. And actually, I think we're going to go with stripped logs eventually, but I'm just going to get the layout sorted. Eventually, we will expand this, and I think in my head, I do have a design that will allow me to expand the barn fairly easily as time goes on. But it's going to be very basic just for right now. It'll be 6 by 3, that's 24. Yeah, I don't think I can do raw daub for the walls. Maybe a couple of the floors in here I could do daub. I think that's what we'll do. So for now, we're just gonna make an outline. Alright, so it'll be kind of a shotgun barn kind of thing. I might actually, well, I wanted to have separate pens for the animals. So I might actually, you do have a chance to actually break the block when harvesting it with mud bricks. It's a good thing they're so cheap. Let me go grab some regular fences. And then we will extend that path all the way to our barn. And now that I'm really thinking about it, there's no reason everything has to be crowded inside the walls. I think eventually the inside of the base will mostly be food, and the wall will just keep critters out. And then out here, I think, is where I'm going to expand and have like barns and our industrial area. Our Grand Forge will probably be out here as well, once we get enough lanterns to light everything up. 2, 3. Yeah, I think that'll do nice. Will allow us to have a little more leeway with generations in here. Because those pigs down there, the babies are either going to be Generation 1 or Generation 2. I'm not entirely sure. I think the pigs are domesticated. Or maybe they're not. Not entirely sure how that works. But regardless, they're piglets we will pick up with those cages and put in here. And feed them until adulthood, and they should be Generation 1 at the very least. And then when they grow up, they will have piglets. And then we will put those piglets over here. For the sheep, I will probably just extend this out this way. Or maybe make this longer. Or maybe do like a U shape. I haven't really decided yet. The concept is the same. You capture either babies in cages or you trap adults, breed them, and you separate the next generation so that it's a little easier to cull the last generation. I'm going to need a new axe here pretty soon as well. Alright. Well, we can heat up some nuggets and fix that guy at a later date. Part of the better smithing, or smithing plus, however you want to look at it. There we go. Maybe put a fern in here. Bring some color to the base. Alright. Normally, this would be a time lapse, but I kind of want to get better at the short form content. Single builds per episode, you know, not trying to jam a month's worth of stuff into a single episode. I could even stick these out a little further and then have some little side pens. I mean, I could. That doesn't necessarily mean I should. I don't know. Let's try it. All right. So now that we have our barn with the expanded wings, which actually I might put one of these on the end. See how this looks before we get too invested in the sides. And I'm not entirely sure if bears can climb too high fences, but one of the main reasons I'm building this barn out of bricks instead of wood, it just makes me feel better. Bricks doesn't really matter, but this will kind of act as a double buffer between any potential gaps in the roof and some hungry bears or wolves. You never know when wolves will spawn. Just put some bushes out front, kind of beautify the area. Alright then. Next up on the agenda is the roof. And I think we're going to need some ladders. I'm thinking maybe we even extend this out one more. Give it some more volume. Like that. I think that'll look nice. And onto the roof. The part I have been putting off. So I think for starters, I don't think we need to make this airtight. So I'm going to kind of opt for a sort of it lets a little sunlight in at the beginning and the end of the day, but it doesn't let a whole bunch in. I think is kind of what I'm going for. And then we'll do opposites on this side. So I'm thinking we just kind of do a line like this. And just go along. Kind of keep the roof sort of flat. You know, bring the illusion that these beams are actually supporting the roof. So like this. And then I think we break these and put in some wattle fences. Just like that. 14. So it appears we have exactly enough to finish this project. Believe it or not, I did not do the math. Alright. And next we have the top hay bales. Which actually, now that I'm looking at them, Not a huge fan. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. It sounded good in my head to alternate hay bales and thatch roof pieces, but not so nice in practice. I don't think. I don't think that looks too shabby. But it does need a little more of this. I really do think, Eldritch Horror aside, the Vintage Story is a very cozy game. It allows you to focus on what you want to focus on, just with the game settings. So if you don't want to be constantly battling rust mobs, and you instead want to spend your time building, like me, you don't necessarily have to. And I think that's pretty neat. Alright, so the roof is complete. Yeah, not entirely sure how I feel about this hay block, but we are going to put a lantern in here. Where exactly is the question? And I think the answer is right up... No. Right up here. Alright. Well, I think this pen will get used for sheep. Maybe I will close it off. I haven't really decided yet. But we're just going to leave it open for now. Or maybe we shouldn't because of bears. So, how about we close it up to a single block and then bears and wolves can't make it in. Alright. So our floor is done. This kind of floor is sort of a hardened, like, earthen floor. If you follow a lot of those Earthship projects in real life, I think Wattle and Daub is just such a neat material, both in game and in real life. It's very versatile. Alright, so our next addition in here is probably going to be some feeding troughs. And then over here, I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with this. This might be goats. And I'll just have a little separation fence for breeding segregation purposes. But we're going to have a snack. It's currently 9 o'clock at night. And I think it's time for a nap. Built a whole barn in one day. I don't know how the Amish do it, but... Oh, and our pelts are done. Let's go ahead, and before we go to bed, make those into a fur coat. So we need 3 large pelts. I don't want to use our brown bear pelt, but we might have to, as annoying as it is. I think we're going to end up hunting this episode, I think. We don't see any reason not to. We need the fat. The meat would be nice. And I think tomorrow we go hunting and get some more pelts so we can actually make some warm clothes for the winter. I'm just gonna dump everything in here. This is kind of my dump chest. I don't worry too much about you know, keeping it organized because I end up organizing it anyway. Where? I need another tool rack in here actually. So let me go ahead and right before winter hits, I think I'm going to go on another big resource run just for things like sticks and clay and grass. Just restock some of these. I do have 1,000 red clay, but you would be very surprised how quickly that disappears. In theory, we should get one more harvest because it's only 33.8 out here. And these doors are wide open. Galaxy brain move. Actually, I don't think it matters too much if this is open. Yeah. So according to in here, it is still 41 degrees. So this spelt over here should be fine. If not, too bad. Anyway, let's head off to bed. And we're up. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. Holy crap. Don't need that in our offhand. What we need to do is go grab some food. We slept in a little late for a hunting trip. You know what I just realized? There's a dungeon down here that I never explored, even though I said I would. Need to make a mental note of that. We will do that after this camping trip. See what's hiding down there. I spotted that on episode 1, I think, and I just never checked on it. Found a few other dungeons around the world. I guess dungeon is the wrong term. It would be more like ruin. Let's hope these bears didn't respawn. Let me see. It is 10 degrees up here. Also, if you didn't know, glacier ice can be used for greenhouses if you don't have access to glass. I completely forgot about that fact until I was looking up greenhouse dimensions before last episode. Or the one before that, actually. I believe it was episode 5. Or 4. Anyway, and yeah, I could have done a greenhouse a long time ago instead of waiting until I had access to glass. Could have gotten it going a little earlier in the year, but oh well. We have one now, and it'll allow us to hopefully get one more harvest of spelt, and definitely a harvest of rye, as well as let us plant just a little earlier in the spring. Good lord. Maybe Malefactor was not the class to pick. Where's the blood trail? There it is. I hear him. Or I hear one. See, he's going this way. I do hear a baby goat up here. Maybe we can come back with some cages and grab that baby goat. There we go. I also think I remember reading somewhere that you can domesticate rabbits. Not sure how much truth there is to that, but good lord, it is foggy up here. So we want to angle ourselves so that the deer runs into the water. I think that's a deer. Yeah, it is. Holy smokes, you're fast. Not quite soaking wet yet. Still baby antlers. But, decent amount of meat on them, so I'll take it. It appears as though she has escaped. So, what time is it? 3 o'clock? We should have time, maybe, to find another one. Maybe a mountain goat, possibly. Would be nice. But it's so foggy up here. This was a really good hunting ground. I might end up having to go south into that valley. Yeah, because right now, I know there's bears around here. And I'm not trying to get caught caught out lacking with a bear. You're still a long ways off from being able to 1v1 a bear on land. There are deer over here. I wonder if we can chase one of them into the water. The males are almost easier to hunt than the females, because the males, well, sometimes they just charge at you. And I can't tell. I think that's a doe. They're both napping. Oh look, some more resin. Let's grab this really quick. Alright, and back to hunting. Right into the water, which is what we wanted. We can keep stalking them. Maybe. Not sure where that deer ended up. It ran into the bushes, kinda. Ran this way. And I see more footprints going up here. Sun's going down. Hopefully we can drop one of them before they yeah. Gonna say, I really hope we can drop one or both of them before the sun really goes down. This hunting at night is not very fun. So she ran off this way. I think that's her right there. Cinematic shot. Low weight, but that's okay. And we're home. Alright. Decent little hunting trip. There will probably be several. Either in between episodes, I will probably do a lot more hunting. This series is not really supposed to be super focused on the survival aspect of the game. But that's kind of what it's sort of turning into. Waste not, want not. Grind up the antlers that you don't want to make a trophy out of. These antlers, I think, are even better than the ones I have upstairs. Or maybe they're kind of similar? Not sure. And I think this one is going to go... I really am not sure. Maybe right there. Maybe we'll find a moose and we can put some really big antlers on the mount. But for now, those will have to do. Alright, so we have 36 red meat. That's still good for a day. So I think we're going to take a gander at our hides that are down here. At least that I thought were down here, but are actually upstairs in the fancy storage vessel that I found. Right, so Have some of those. Have some of these. How many of these oiled hides do I need to make the full set? So this should make the coat. This should make the boots. Large fur boots. Yeah, one large equals a pair of boots. And then 2 of these mediums should be adequate for my gloves for the winter. So the rest of these I can turn into leather. Diluted borax. Is it the wrong? No. 5 liters of water. There's gotta be. Oh, I just have to close the menu, or maybe it was glitched. All right. Okay then. So we're gonna grab some of that and put it in here, and that should take all 4 of the medium hides. We'll take these. That would take all 4 of the large hides, and then we're good. Put this bucket back down right there, and I think it's time to process our hunt. And to do that, I'm gonna make some rye flour. So I'll meet y'all back here when I am all done grinding this up. Let me see, 12. All right then. Now that that's finished up, let's put this rye grain back, or maybe we just toss it back in here where it belongs. Now it is time to make some meat pies. So same as you saw a little while ago. You just make your shell, fill it up with meat, and then collect the pie. Actually, or step. Let's do it this way. This time. And then let's grab another empty pie crust and fill that up. And put these in the ovens. Grab this guy. And now for the experiment. I'm not entirely sure on this. Will you be quiet, please? Okay. So, I think can't mix fillings from different food categories. Well, that is unfortunate. So it looks like we're gonna have a half full meat pie, and I would not be so lucky as to have another chunk of meat hanging out. Nope, I would not. All right then. Oh well, that was a waste of food. How long does this last? 2 days? How long does it last in here? 10 days? All right. That'll have to do. Very annoying. I really don't see the point in drifter spawns. They just they really just stink up the place. But oh well. 240 down to 192, so you lose 48 saturation on the grain. And then 840 down to 672. It's 100 and something. 840, yeah. So keep that in mind when you're deciding whether or not to burn stuff. Might actually put these blueberry pies in here for a while. They're good for 7 days. I don't want to, my fruit bar is all full, so I'm not too worried about satiety with fruit, but I am with meat. And actually, that's the only problem to meat pies, is one slice fills up a lot, so you do have to worry about it having a partial serving left, which you don't necessarily have to worry about with fruit pies, or vegetable pies for that matter. Alright, I think in the morning we go flesh out the rest of that barn, and then afterwards, yeah, and then once the barn is done, we'll go check on our pigs, see how they're doing. Let's see, it is 2:30 in the morning. Let's take a nap till around 7. Let's finish setting up the barn, shall we? So for starters, one more there. I don't think, yeah. And then eventually I might actually put another beam across all the way and kind of stick it out, because bears cannot, their step assist, the climbing ability they have is based on step assist. So if you can, oh my god, very high rift activity. Alright, come here. He's juking me. Alright. Let's, yeah, let's go check on our pigs. And actually, before I was going to do that, I got interrupted. I was going to grab the rest of my hand tools, because, and actually I need my cages now, just in case. Because if there is actually piglets, we can go ahead and transfer them up to the barn, and then we can call Mom and Dad. See, is pregnant still. Still pregnant. Alright, well, I guess for now, we will just grab that trough and put it into the first area that we're going to have our piglets. I think right here is a pretty good spot. We will put the trough in the corner just like that. I don't think pigs climb on top of troughs. And even if they did, I don't think they can climb more than one block. And this, yeah, that's less than a full block, so they wouldn't be able to get out the window. And if they do, then we're just gonna have to take away some freedoms. Alright then. So this is ready for whenever our piglets show up. And actually, I see chickens. There we go. That is, contains a captured animal. Let's go ahead and put this away. Probably right here. That is a hen. Good. So now we just need a rooster. This is far enough away, we shouldn't have to worry about spooking the chickens just working over there. And that should give them plenty of time. Not sure what's going on with them. Maybe they'll reset at some point. Let me see. Small trough. It's just 3 boards. Well, for now, I guess I didn't need all these small animal cages. But I have them now, so... Oh, and I was gonna grab a whole bunch of flax grain to keep in the barn. What? How? Well, I guess we have cows now. Wow. How? Are you gonna try and ram me? Maybe. That is wild. Okay, so I guess we have cows. Interesting. I never would. I'm speechless. I have no idea. What? That is bizarre. I have never had something like that happen. That is incredibly lucky. I don't know. Like, what are the chances of that? Maybe that's why they were glitched out, because the cows were about to spawn? Alright then. Well, we have chickens and cows and pigs now. So, that's awesome. Yeah. Several days left before ready to mate. So, it looks like I'm gonna have to expand the barn sooner than I thought. But you know what? First world problems. I can't get over that. You know, part of me wants to kill the cows because that just seems way too easy. But it looks like eventually we're gonna have milk. So that's awesome. Let me put this down here. Things are going a little too well, I think, at this point. Something's bound to go wrong. And it might have something to do with that. I have a sneaking suspicion that somehow, some way, I did not save enough food. I mean, I feel like... almost an entire vessel of grain and almost an entire vessel of vegetables. In theory, is more than plenty to make it through winter. But who knows? I built that barn for the pigs, but I got chickens and cows in there before the sows gave birth. Then we'll keep them fed for now. But I think that about does it. I'm pretty pleased with everything that has happened today. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the winter brings, because winter has always been a challenge for me. I always want to build stuff all winter long. But never quite goes in my favor. But we're going to see what happens. You know, I have high hopes. Maybe I used up all my luck getting those cows to just spawn inside of an animal pen, inside of a barn. But, who knows? Maybe there's a lot of other good things that are going to happen. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.